Have you noticed your ears ringing, your heart racing, and your body reacting to things that never used to bother you in ways you can't quite explain? Many women brush it off as stress or aging and miss that these could be overlooked signs of perimenopause connected to changes in your nervous system. So in this video, I will share 7 lesser-known early signs of perimenopause, why they happen, and what you can do about them. But first, there's something connecting all 7 of these signs that most women never hear about. Once you understand it, everything on this list will click into place. Most women know about hot flashes, irregular periods, or mood changes. But what many never hear about is what may be driving them. Perimenopause can also affect your nervous system. That means your body's ability to regulate stress, sensitivity, temperature, and everyday reactions can begin to shift. So things your body used to handle easily may suddenly feel louder, sharper, and harder to manage. That's a missing piece, and it's what connects the 7 signs I'm about to share. So let's start with the one that scares many women most. Sign number 1. You are sitting quietly, not exercising, not stressed, not rushing anywhere, and suddenly your heart starts racing or fluttering for no obvious reason. It's unsettling. For many women, the first thought is there something wrong with my heart? I hear this all the time. One woman told me it happened during a meeting. Her heart suddenly started pounding and she had to excuse herself. She got her heart checked and everything came back normal. Heart palpitations are one of the most common early signs of perimenopause. As progesterone begins to decline, your nervous system can lose some of its natural calming buffer. Your stress response becomes more reactive, and your heartbeat may feel stronger, faster, or more noticeable than before. So often, the issue isn't your heart itself. It's your nervous system responding to hormonal change. First, always rule out any cardiac with your doctor. But if everything checks out and it keeps happening, this may be one of your body's early signals that something is shifting. Sign number 2. This next one is something most women never connect to perimenopause. You're on the way to work and suddenly notice ringing, buzzing, or high-pitched sound in your ears. It may come and go, or it may sit there like a faint background noise you can't ignore. Most women assume it's an ear problem and see a specialist. The tests come back normal, yet it keeps returning. One woman described it as a constant high-pitched hum. It was keeping her awake at night and making it hard to focus at work. She saw 2 different doctors and neither mentioned perimenopause. Here's what may be happening. Estrogen receptors exist throughout the parts of your brain and body involved in hearing and sound processing. As hormones fluctuate, that system can become more sensitive or less stable. So sounds your brain once filtered easily may suddenly feel louder or more noticeable. This is another example of the sensory sensitivity we talked about earlier. If doctors have checked your ears and found nothing, this may be the piece they missed. Sign number 3. This next one is something I personally experienced. And honestly, it frightened me a little. I remember a moment in the office where my boss said something small, nothing serious, and I felt this rage of anger rising up so fast I couldn't get ahead of it. I couldn't understand why I lost control like that or where it came from. Many women describe the same thing, a reaction that feels completely disproportionate to what happened. at work, with your partner, or with your kids. And then, almost as quickly as it arrived, it's gone. Here's why it happens. As progesterone declines, your brain loses some of its natural calming chemistry. Think of it like a brake pedal that's lost some of its grip. Your stress responses becomes more reactive. Your emotional threshold drops, and things that never used to trigger you suddenly do. This isn't a personal change. It's your nervous system operating with less of its natural buffer. And once you understand what's driving it, it becomes something you can work with. Sign number 4. This next one comes up constantly, but most women never connect it to perimenopause. Many suddenly find that noise feels different. A busy restaurant, a loud open office, or multiple conversations happening at once starts to feel genuinely overwhelming in a way it never did before. Not just annoying, unbearable. And smell can shift just as dramatically. I remember walking past a perfume corner one day and having to hold my breath just to get through it. I used to wear perfume for special occasions, but not anymore. I even threw away a few bottles I had at home. I thought my sense of smell had just changed. But here's what was actually happening. As estrogen fluctuates, your nervous system becomes more reactive to sensory input. Sound, smell, light, even touch can register more intensively than before. The world hasn't changed. Your nervous system volume is simply amplifying it. If you've been avoiding certain places or situations lately and couldn't explain why, this may be your answer. Sign number 5. This next one, when I posted about it on social media, the response surprised me. Women were commenting saying, "Yes, this is happening to me too." The symptom? Itchy skin. Not from a rash, not from an algae, just a persistent, irritating itch that seems to come from nowhere. And for some women, it gets even further than that. Not just itchy, but a sensation almost like something crawling on or under the skin. Both are common in perimenopause than most women realize. But what many women don't know is that estrogen also influences the nerve endings in your skin. When those nerve endings becomes more reactive, bodily sensations can suddenly feel amplified. Your skin hasn't become more sensitive for no reason. Your nervous system is involved. 2 things that can help in the moment. Avoid scratching, which increases inflammation, and cool the area down. Sign number 6. This next one is probably the strangest on the list. And when women first experiencing it, it can be shocking. Some women describe a sudden feeling like a small electric shock that can appear anywhere in the body. An arm, leg, the scalp, even deep inside the head, just for a split second. And then it's gone. Others describe it more as a tingling or vibrating sensation under the skin that seems to come from nowhere. The first reaction for most women is, "What was that?" Because nothing caused it. It just happened. Here's what's likely happening. Estrogen plays a role in keeping nerve signals stable and consistent. As levels fluctuate, nerve signals can become less stable and occasionally misfire in ways that feel like a brief jolt or tingle. It's startling when it happens, but knowing it's your nervous system, not something more serious, makes it far less frightening. Sign number 7. And the last sign on this list is one that often gets dismissed or laughed off until it starts happening where it really matters. Have you been dropping things more often lately? Or bumping into furniture you've lived with for years? I know it happened to me. But when you suddenly feel off balance for no reason, it gets your attention quickly. One woman told me it became difficult for her to drive. On the way to the office, she suddenly felt off balance and had to pull over. Both estrogen and progesterone influence the sensory systems that helps your brain manage balance and coordination. When they fluctuate, those systems can become less reliable. And with a more reactive nervous system on top of that, your sense of balance can feel even more off. So the point is, what feels like clumsiness may actually be your nervous system adjusting to shifting hormones. You're not losing your edge. It's your body in transition. Maybe some of these signs felt random before. Now you know there may be a reason behind them. I'd love to know which of these 7 signs have you experienced? Type it in the comments below. You might be surprised how many other women are experiencing the same thing. And if along with any of these signs, you've also been feeling more tired than usual, struggling to get through the day even when you had enough sleep, that can be connected too. Because when your nervous system is dysregulated, one of the first things it affects is your energy. I have a free on-demand workshop called 3 Hidden Energy Drains Behind Midlife Fatigue. And in it, I'll show you what may be quietly draining your energy even if you're eating well and exercising, plus a simple 3 minutes daily reset you can start right away. It's free. Click the first link below this video. And if your energy tends to crash in the afternoon, I also have a video explaining what may be happening and what you can do about it. If that sounds familiar, watch this next.